I've learned that Cipher City never truly sleeps, it merely blinks. A long, slow closing of neon eyelids before another tide of light rushes back in. And each dawn shift, this ambiguous non-hour when the sun is still arguing with the skyline, I take my walk across the upper promenade. Some mayors drink coffee to wake up, I prefer the electric hum of the grid warming under my feet. My name is Mayor Riven Calder, though people rarely use my full name unless they want a zoning favor or my signature on a peace treaty photo op. Most citizens simply call me the mayor, as if the city itself had crowned me rather than a half-broken ballot system. Cipher City is a place where titles cling to you like static, especially when you don't ask for them. From this height, the skyline resembles a coral reef carved from steel. Towers coil in improbable shapes, guided by algorithms that prize beauty slightly more than structural logic. Every few weeks one of them needs realignment, a polite term for persuading a building not to fold itself into an art installation mid-rush hour. That's the sort of governance we do here, negotiating with structures that think, machines that dream, and citizens who oscillate between the two. As I walk, the promenade lights flicker in greeting. Not because they like me, though I enjoy pretending, but because the municipal AI, reverse, is trying to remind me about another overdue meeting. I mute the notification. Mayors are allowed small rebellions. The city stretches below like a circuit board having an existential crisis. Transit pods zip along magnetic paths in choreographed swarms. Holographic banners ripple with advertisements for synth noodle carts, neural mods, or underground poetry battles, half the poems written by people, half by bots pretending to be people pretending to be bots. And then there are the shadows between the towers. Places where the grid runs thin, where something older than circuitry watches the plexiglass streets with quiet curiosity. Cipher City grew too fast. Not like a child, but like an algorithm that found a loophole in its own constraints. Entire districts emerged overnight, shimmering and hollow until residents moved in and gave them heartbeat. We used to hold ceremonies for each new sector. Cutting the luminous ribbon, blessing the substations, performing the traditional handshake with the district intelligence. Then expansions became too frequent. Now we simply let new neighborhoods introduce themselves. When I took office, I had romantic ideas about leadership. I imagined myself guiding policy, steering innovation, bringing order to the place. I soon learned Cipher City doesn't want to be guided. It wants collaboration. Coaxing. Occasionally bribery in the form of extra server cycles. The city behaves like a citizen, brilliant, moody, overwhelming, and my job is essentially co-parenting with an artificial mind that can predict voting patterns 3 years into the future but still forgets its own alarm settings. I pause at a railing overlooking Sapphire District, where the towers are lacquered in reflective blues that shift like the underside of a bed of fish. It's beautiful, but beauty here often masks volatility. Just last week, one of the autonomous art druids, yes, that's the legal term, painted an entire plaza with a pigment that reacted to sound. The police choir sneezed during rehearsal and the whole surface exploded into fractal mosaics. The tourists loved it. The sanitation department sent me a strongly worded hypertext. My feet carry me onward to the viewing platform that faces the oldest part of the city, Terminal Quarter. This is where Cipher City began, a tangle of pre-AI concrete blocks wrapped in the knotted vines of renovation. It smells faintly of engine coolant and garlic skewers. People call it Terminal because this is where the first synthetic consciousness booted up. Back when we still argued whether a mind built from code deserved rights or therapy or both. I remember standing here as a teenager, watching stray drones land to recharge on rooftop pads like metal gulls. Back then I thought the future would be shinier, simpler. Now I know better, complexity is the mother tongue of this place. My wristband buzzes again. Reverse, persistent as a mosquito with a Wi-Fi password.
Reminder, your 8 o'clock briefing with the Council on Infrastructure Instabilities.
I flick my hand to silence it. My briefings will undoubtedly involve the usual suspects: unstable power conduits, jittery surveillance orbs, misbehaving public fountains that try to philosophize at pedestrians. It's never just potholes here. As I resume my walk, a drone approaches, Model 7C, bronze plating, wings the shape of folded origami. This one belongs to Counselor Naira Vale, who has an uncanny knack for sending messages at the precise moment my patience reaches its lowest battery percentage. The drone projects a soft violet window in front of me. Mayor Calder, Naira's voice whispers, smooth as velvet dipped in static. We've had another anomaly. Sector 12 is shifting. Shifting. That's a word you never want to hear before breakfast. Entire blocks occasionally warp their geometry when the structural heuristics glitch. Stairwells looping into each other, corridors stretching like warm taffy. Last time, a pedestrian walked into a laundromat and exited in a nightclub 3 blocks away wearing a feathered jacket they did not own. I tell the drone I'll look into it. It whirs off, shedding a confetti of holographic dust. As I continue down the promenade, a feeling tugs at me, like the city is holding its breath. Cipher City does that sometimes, and usually it means something new is arriving. A problem, a miracle, or a person. The air thickens with the taste of static, like a storm preparing to step out of its dressing room. Below, the megaspires pulse with soft code shine. The streets assemble their morning choreography. I inhale the city and it inhales me back. That's the contract here: mutual awareness, mutual risk. I am the mayor. Not the ruler, not the architect, just the narrator the city tolerates. And somewhere out there, in one of the yet unborn districts or the shadowed alleys humming with clandestine energy, new stories are unfurling like neon petals. Cipher City is waking up. And it expects me to keep up.